A message from Her Excellency the Governor General.
So here we are again, this speech from the throne.
Congratulations.
Together we move Canada forward.
Je suis heureuse d'ouvrir la première session.
And a ceremony stuffed with symbolism.
A message from Her Majesty.
It's really about the tension between Parliament and the monarchy.
Mr. Speaker.
All the more appropriate because for the opening of the 45th session of Parliament, the King himself will read the speech, as opposed to the Governor General, who typically represents the Crown. On the big day, all eyes are on the Usher of the Black Rod, a senior parliamentary protocol officer who plays a pivotal role, including inviting the MPs to the Senate to hear the speech. And that is where the drama begins.
Usher of the Black Rod is just getting close to the doors of the House of Commons. Those doors will be slammed shut in the face of the usher. And this is symbolic.
Incredibly rude.
Yes, it can be incredibly rude. It is the House of Commons demonstrating their independence from the Crown.
At which point the usher knocks. Speech after speech, there's always been 3 knocks at the door. So what's with the closed doors and the knocking? Well, it goes back to the 17th century and a king who didn't respect the independence of the house.
During the 17th century, there was a major power struggle between the Crown and Parliament. During the reign of Charles I, Parliament felt that its rights were being circumscribed and that the king was acting arbitrarily.
And then in 1642, things really took a turn.
In the lead up to the English Civil War, Charles I brought soldiers and went into the floor of the then English House of Commons, seeking to arrest Oliver Cromwell, John Pym, and 3 other senior parliamentarians who, to the king, were threatening a civil war.
Which in part brought about the English Civil War and the execution of King Charles I.
Who rules England, a king or Parliament? The Civil War decided the answer is Parliament.
Which brings us back to the Usher of the Black Rod, who as the Crown's representative must knock and request permission before entering the House of Commons.
The key point here is Black Rod cannot simply barge in and demand that the Commons come to hear the speech. Black Rod has to ask to be admitted, and the Commons have to agree that they will come.
Not all Black Rods are the same. The original was lost in the parliamentary fire of 1916. The replacement was snapped in half in 1967 and glued back together. After all the wear and tear, a new rod was restored as a gift for the Queen in 2016.
And that it is time for them to attend. And now
once the MPs follow the Usher of the Black Rod to the Senate, you may notice another object that's part of the procession, the mace.
Going back to medieval times, the mace was a weapon of war to defend initially the king, and then it became appropriated by the House of Commons.
The mace is important because it represents royal authority. The mace has to be present in the room for either house to conduct business.
We resume what day?
In fact, in the British Parliament during the Brexit debates, one MP put this to the test, grabbing the mace. He didn't get very far. With the royal robes and rods and maces, it might be tempting to see these traditions as relics from the past. But historians say, if anything, they're more relevant than ever.
At this particular time in the world, when democracy, legal rights are under challenge in many countries, I think it's very important for us to remember that we have these rights and why we have these rights, that people died to secure these rights for us, and that we should appreciate them.